Hello there, and welcome to, Rustland. I know there's no D on there, but it's Rustland. I wonder if it's kind of like cattle rustling, which would be completely different spelling, but the spelling doesn't matter. What matters is I was going through some of my files in one of my directories, and I found some old school T-Med attacks. And some people were being like, brah, come on, what's up? We missed the T-Med. Well, alright, here you go. Here's some T-Med from... I don't even... Honestly, I don't even know when this happened. I have no idea what the stats were at the time. I'm guessing not the same as what I have now, but, like, I know it's going to be max T-Med, for sure, because the landing craft are max, so my troops maxed before my landing crafts did. Anyways, well, my T-Med troops. There were a bunch of other troops in there. Not getting into that. What I am getting into, though, because, like, as I kind of sat here and I watched, and I was like, oh, man, I remember T-Med. I remember what this was like. You'd have, like, 8.5 minutes per attack, where you could just sit there and talk about whatever, and just, you know, relax, sit back, maybe have some coffee. Oh, coffee. And for the record, hold on, I'm just gonna give it one of those. There we go. That's my boy. Yeah, I'm that guy. I've got my dog on my mugs. What? I figured I've got a ton of time, and then I was looking at these bases, and I was like, man, I wish I could get some bases like this nowadays. What's up? And I was looking, and I was just like, you know what? It's not even just the levels. Like, look at that machine gun. What is that? Like a level 1 machine gun? Like, come on. But it's not just the levels. It's everything mixed in with it. So, like, the placement of certain structures, you know, mines, things like that. I was just like, holy smokes, man, like, wow, it's crazy. So I figured, what the heck, I'm gonna have some fun. I'm gonna roll around with some T-Med. I'm gonna do some damage, and I think I'm gonna pick apart a couple of bases. All right, I'm not gonna pick apart some bases because that would be mean. Like Russ, can I call him Rusty? Rusty? I'm gonna go with Rusty. Rusty here probably wouldn't like it if I started ripping apart his base, but Lighter? I'm gonna go with Lighter. Lighter might be into that. I don't know. But what I will say is Lighter probably should have put some more space in between defensive structures. As you can see, I threw out like a few attacks, and I was able to get like all kinds of bonus energy just because stuff was touching other stuff, and I was like, oh, alright, if you're gonna give me some free hits, I'm gonna take the free hits. Like, come on, what's up? Also, having everything really close together for just the barrages alone is kind of on the risky side. Like, you know, the grappler is going to be target number 1 for anyone rolling T-Meds, even Hookah, Grens. Like, the grappler is pretty high up there on the hate list, and it has a mountain of hit points, so you know some serious GBE is going to be burnt on taking that bad boy down. That's kind of the whole point of putting a grappler on your base. It's not necessarily that you want it to grapple things, you want it to drain the gunboat energy of the person attacking you so they can't do anything to your boom cannons, your shock launchers, your whatever else you've got hidden around your base, so that you can get a few kills with those, get yourself some intel, who knows, maybe even a defend. Green statues. I remember green statues. Oh, they were fun back in the day. Actually, I probably still come across... no word of a lie. I can't even remember how long ago it was. Probably like a week or two ago. I actually found a level 65 that still had like 4 green statues sitting on his base. And I like, come on, what do you do with that? Honestly. Level 65. 4 green statues. Anyways, let's move on to Mayerbod? Merbid? I wonder if it's like a play on morbid. Anyways, doesn't matter. Merbid is rocking a pretty decent little attack. Now, if I was rolling in with the Grens, obviously front row would be super nice to just drop the Grens, let them do some damage. This is another perfect example of, you know, dude gave me 3 extra energy just for killing his boom cannon. Because of the touchings and the whatnots, you really got to be careful. Like, you want to keep those buildings off of your shock launchers, your boom cannons, your rocket launchers, and your prototypes. Because, like, let's be honest, when people roll in, if they're rolling like something with tanks or Scorchers or heavies, you know, big beefy units up in front, they're going to be going after your boom cannons. If they're rolling like rifles or all Zooka, or, you know, squishies just with lots of them, you know, the army ants, they're going to go after your rocket launcher. So, like, you have a pretty good idea of the top picks of what's going to get hit. So if you can spread those out and not give extra energy away for people who are destroying them, it's only going to help your cause. It makes it that much harder for them to blow their way through, you know, whatever happens to be sitting around. Speaking of which, I overextended myself a little bit on this attack. Look at that. Oh, this is getting shameful. See, this happened so long ago. I don't even know what's going on anymore. I'm watching these attacks for the first time too. So, I would definitely suggest, if you can, you know, be careful with the big 3 or big 4 if you count prototypes, but, like, you know, prototypes are kind of special and they're on their own thing. And don't get me wrong, I say this as just a general rule, but when it really comes down to it, like, if you happen to have a base lineup that needs maybe something touching, you know, do it. Like, if it's gonna get an extra defensive building into, say, like, your damage amp, it might really be worth it. Just don't pack that damage amp too full and, like, make it an artillery party, or barrage, I guess, party, or arty barty party. Arty barty party. So, Dirk Diggler. Alright, so Dirk Diggler here obviously is trying to hide all of his non-defensive buildings in the back and make things look really scary and intimidating up at the front, and he is 100% doing a fantastic job. The only problem is, with a base like this where you've got everything up front and nothing in the back, well, it makes it really, really easy for someone to slip in the back door. Which, as you might have been able to tell, you know, just based on the smoky tanks, I'm aiming for the back door. And I'm not being subtle about it either. Excuse me. Man, I have not been sleeping very much lately. Kind of working on shifting the old sleeping pattern, so I gotta down the coffee while I can. Also, tank attacks, so I've got an extra 20 minutes. Oh, that's some good coffee too. Not dog coffee, I'll tell you that for sure. So, as my tanks slowly work their way through the back of this base, you can see I can, like, take out the boom cannons and really all the things that are scary. And, like, at this point, what I don't know. I could go to sleep, I'm pretty sure. I don't have to worry about anything because it's all dead. And I don't even, like, if I had been attacking with less energy, I don't even have to actually blow up all those boom cannons and stuff. They're close enough together. I probably could have just thrown down a shock and just stun locked the crap out of the entire base while my tanks blow everything up from the backside. But you know, I like to blow things up because I like the pretty flashes. That's why I see the Michael Bay movies. Anyways, Dirk Diggler goes down on himself. Moving on to a Phil! That's right, what video would be complete without a Phil, right? Oh man, I haven't done an imitation game in so long. I'm not going to be able to do this imitation game coming up, but an imitation game at some point should be doable. Hopefully. We're going to have to see. So, good old-fashioned back base, absolutely wonderful. You can tell that this kind gent really wanted to keep people from going through the woods to meet Grandma, because there are a bunch of mines, which, hey, you know, that's fine. I get it. I get where you're going with this. Totally legit. However, maybe don't make it so obvious, right? Like, when you see a whole bunch of mines in the woods, it's bait. Like, it's fully, they're trying to keep you from going there because it's a soft spot, and they don't want you sticking your finger into their gooey little side pocket there. So, this base isn't necessarily as bad as some. Some of them are pretty crazy. Like, it's all front-loaded defenses, and then a bunch of mines in the woods, and you just kind of slip by and play a little bit of the Smoky Stranger with them, and they fall over and they die, and it's fantastic. What this person did, though, was hide all of their free GBE all along the whole right side, and what that does is it really creates like a pretty decent-sized alleyway up the right-hand side, where you'll get a bunch of energy so you can blow all the defenses up, but also, you know, you don't have to worry about a lot of defenses being able to reach over. As long as you hug that right-hand side, you stay, like, right on the, I guess the shore? Not the beach, but the side of the island. We're gonna call it the shore. Over by the docks, okay? Oh, we're slipping in the back door over by the docks. Anyways, I'm sorry. I got distracted. Phil is going down, though, like a clown, right after Dirk. And that's fantastic because, well, loot is kind of the name of the game. Not anymore, but at this point, I'm pretty sure. The corner base. Like, extreme corner base, too. As you can see over in the, well, we'll call it the top of the map there, there's a whole bunch of extra energy just kind of sitting there waiting. And they've got a really nice grid pattern. And the grid pattern is fantastic for, you know, organization. It looks aesthetically pleasing if you're, you know, one of those people that suffers from the ADD. But the grid pattern has some flaws when it comes to the old defense, I'll tell you what. Mostly because, oh, I'd like to point out, because I just didn't bother to smoke running into a machine gun, these attacks were done pre-update. You probably noticed that I don't have a hero in the corner there. It's because, yeah, this predates the old heroes and also the machine gun upgrades. So I kind of like just drove straight at the machine gun and laughed because there wasn't anything it would do to a tank back then. So what I would suggest, don't pile up your storage structures like this, like you know, so many other people have done. I believe Dirk might have been doing that. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I just realized this person's name is Jiggity Giles. Oh, it's kind of like a blend of Family Guy and Buffy going through my head right now, you know? Just like Jiggity Giles. Oh, maybe a little bit of like Bare Naked Ladies, you know? Jiggity Giles and the nah, let's not go there. So yeah, spread your storage buildings throughout the base. Use them as a buffer. They actually make a really great buffer, like I was talking about earlier, with not putting, you know, high value defensive buildings together. They do make a pretty decent little buffer if you give them some space around, say, like a boom cannon or something, where, you know, put them far enough away that they won't actually die and give away free energy, but that, you know, you can waste some dead space around that boom cannon with the storage units, so that, you know, your high value stuff is spread out a little bit further. Obviously not too far apart, because you want things to be covering everybody. And honestly, the base building is incredibly tough. There's so many things to take into account, and there are some brilliant bases out there. Maybe not necessarily Jiggity Giles, but you know, other people. Soul, for example, definitely. If you never like checked out any of his videos, check out at the very least his base, because his base is to bomb. I'm not gonna lie. It has provided me very much intels, and my task force, my entire task force, as well as myself, thanks him for the absolutely fantastic base. You know, just saying, just throwing it out there. You know, he's not paying me or anything. He's not sending me coffee either. Hint. No, not really. Oh man, that's some good stuff. Oh, I haven't even been using my coaster. This is trouble. See, this is what happens. I'm out of sorts. I'm out of practice. Now, this is a very lovely, very grid-based, corner base. I'm pretty sure. I think I saw the HQ way in the back there. But they tried to use the non-defensive buildings as like a buffer, like a wall almost, maybe. And what that says to me is, here, take a bunch of free energy as you work your way around my entire base, and then by the time you're ready to actually penetrate, you're gonna just roll right on through. Have fun. And that's, you know, kind of where I was going with this attack. I'm not sure why the two buildings are out in the middle of nowhere in the woods there. It's like, the guy, I don't know, maybe that's the murder shed, just like in the backwoods, just like pulls unsuspecting people back there and blows up their tanks. I really don't know what's going on with that. What I do know is I'm getting a pretty decent amount of energy, and now that my tanks are in the back and relatively safe, all I'm doing is throwing bombs. I'm dropping bombs like the Bible got Psalms. It's a lyric. Anyways, so going around the back, be really careful when you guys do bases like this. At the very least, you know, hide some good stuff in the forest there. Have your boom cannons come out and kind of cover the wall, if you would. Like, if you really want to mess it up, like, make sure you've got some high damage against single target defenses, a tank's distance away, like able to cover a tank's distance back from your wall, because that's what the tanks are going to do, man. They're going to unload, they're going to blow some stuff up while they're out of range of everything, and then they're going to laugh and thank you for all the extra energy, because, like, what else are you going to do? And then, you know, they're going to blow up your base and take all your stuff, and then ends up being a Doza? I don't know. I got nothing. Anyways, Daza, why does that rings a bell for some reason, and I have no idea why. But that's okay, I'm not going to worry about that. I am going to move on to the next attack, which I'm a big fan of this one. The XDV80. And I think it's supposed to be like the smiley face with the X as the eyes, like a laughing smiley face, and then like V80. But I don't know. I could be on the cracks. So, once again, my friend here has put some stuff right up against the grappler, which I absolutely love, because free energy, and I'm taking that grappler out anyways. It's gotta go, or else it's gonna do horrible, horrible things to my poor tanks. And then, also, over on the left-hand side here, he did a pretty good job, actually, of dropping the sniper towers. And I like the little band of sniper towers that he put around the base here. Mostly because if I had rolled in with Grens, that would have really hurt my Grens. I would have been able to deal with it, and I got some tricks. But it'll definitely slow your Grens down, I guess. That's a nice way of putting it. However, on the inside, so many things are touching. I'm just like blowing stuff up for the fun of it and getting extra energy out of the deal. Like it really is kind of nice. You know, obviously finishing things off with critters because of the people with that right amount of boost where a barrage and an artillery don't quite kill it. It's just a little too little. Drives me nuts. Anyway. I almost wish that, like, troop damage affected your gunboat abilities. I know it goes kind of against the whole name of against the name of troop damage when you're using your gunboat, but it'd be nice if, like, your barrage just got a little bit of a boost. Who knows, maybe that would actually be a neat new statue. You know, if they wanted to throw in like a yellow statue or something that like boosts your gunboat abilities, like makes your shocks and your smokes last longer, increases the damage of your art and Bart, and oh man, could you imagine a statue that makes your shocks last like just 1 second longer? Would be so freaking awesome. It would, like, for ops at least, it would be OP. I don't know. And then, like, who knows, maybe extra critters could spawn when you toss critters. You know, increase the amount you heal. I don't know if there's anything you could really do for the flare. I don't know. Maybe decrease the energy required for flare. Like, you could do a lot of cool things with the gunboat abilities and their own little statue thing. And if there's people out there who have come up with this idea, I apologize for stealing your idea. It was not intentional, but I think that you have a brilliant freaking idea. Anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thanks very much for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully it's been entertaining. And most importantly, hopefully you guys have a fantastic day.